Greetings, this is Paul the Poke from paulthepoke.com. Today's topic, Antichrist, the beast, resurrection or not. Revelation 13, verses 3 and 4. I saw one of his heads as if it had been slain, and his fatal wound was healed. And the whole earth was amazed, and followed after the beast. They worshiped the dragon, because he gave his authority to the beast, and they worship the beast, saying, "Who is like the beast, and who is able to wage war with him?" So, is it a fake death or a false resurrection? Does the Antichrist really die and come back to life? In the verses, the phrase, as if it had been slain, as if or hos in the original Greek, it's comparative, as, like, even as, etc. The word for slain, sphadzo. Now this is a gruesome death. It's to slay, slaughter, butcher, to put to death by violence, mortally wounded. And sphadzo is the same word used to describe the death of Christ on the cross, Revelation 5:12. Worthy is the lamb that was slain. And it's also the same word used to describe how Cain killed his brother Abel in 1 John 3:12. Also the phrase in Revelation 13, and his fatal wound was healed. The word for wound is plague. It also means blow or stripe. And his wound is described as fatal or thanatos. Now the meaning of thanatos is as follows. It's the death of a body. That separation, whether natural or violent, of the soul and body, by which the life on earth is ended, with the implied idea that his future destination is misery and hell. So it's the power of death. I mean, this is not a pleasant word. Thanatos is not a good death. It's bad. It's like we are separating you body, soul, and spirit, and we're sending you straight to hell is the idea. Now as opposed to the term we use in our society today, euthanasia, you break that down, the thanasia is death from thanatos, and then is good death. So when we talk about euthanasia in our society, it's a good death, as opposed to thanatos, which is a bad death. The Antichrist or beast appears to be dead, or literally physically dies. Then therapuo, he is healed, cured, restored to life. I mean, that's where we get our word therapy from. Therapuo, he's back. And there are also two other verses later in Revelation 13 that allude to his resurrection, and they are reminders of what happened previously in verses 3 and 4 of chapter 13. So Revelation 13:12b, and he makes the earth and those who dwell in it worship the first beast, whose fatal wound was healed. Little reminder, hey, he was dead and he's back. Revelation 13 verse 14b, to make an image to the beast who had the wound of the sword and has come to life. So there's a hint. Possibly this Antichrist, he will be stabbed or take some sort of blow from a sword or a knife, and that will appear to have killed him. So, again, the question, does the Antichrist or beast, does he demonstrate resurrection from the dead? And I'm going to leave that up to the individual to decide that. The bottom line is, whatever takes place, this event is convincing. Now we should also remember that Satan is the father of lies, and he's the guy who is like the head of this little satanic trinity. It's Satan, the Antichrist, beast, and then the false prophet. So it's nothing for this to be a fake death and make it look like he's back to life. But the point is how can you compete with this guy? He came back from the dead, or appears to come back from the dead. And they worship the beast, saying, "Who is like the beast, and who is able to wage war with him?" And so all these things leave us with a choice. Which resurrection do you believe? Antichrist or Christ? Now, the Bible provides destinations for both of those. If you believe the promise of the Antichrist, the beast will offer lots of big talk and promises, and he will trash God and Jesus, and he will lead in tyranny, and eventually you can join him in the lake of fire, and that's Revelation 20 verses 10 through 15. That's his eternal destination. But if you believe in the resurrection of the Prince of Peace, Jesus Christ, you have power over death. 1 Corinthians 15 verses 54 through 57. But when this perishable will have put on the imperishable, and this mortal will have put on immortality. And that's in reference to our bodies. You know, our bodies at this point, they are perishable and they are mortal. And that's evidenced. We all know this. I have no hair, my beard is graying, and I now have bifocals. I don't feel any older, but my body is slowly but surely breaking down, and that's the reality of it is we all die. And then we have, following up in the verse, then will come about the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. O death, where is your victory? O death, where is your sting? The sting of death is sin, and the power of sin is the law. But thanks be to God who gives us victory through our Lord Jesus Christ. So, something to think about, Christ or Antichrist. If you're interested in this topic, please feel free to check out paulthepoke.com. Keywords: Christ, Antichrist, Beast, Resurrection, Gospel. Thanks for listening. Take care.